Hello, my dear Phoenix friend. I say Phoenix because, well, haven't you come out a couple times in the past week or two? So that's kind of interesting. The Phoenix, of course, is someone who keeps learning lessons, maybe the same lessons over and over again. I find the appearance of the Fire Ant card next to you to be very concerning. The Fire Ant is a card of gossip. Let me see if I can. So, Fire Ant. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire Ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances, rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming. Don't play the blame game. The blame game is nobody wins, ever. And it's so immature. Sorry if that is triggering for you, but it's the truth. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips. To bring into balance, solo time, walks at night. If you are a Phoenix person, if you are burning off all this karmic energy, if you are learning all these lessons, it makes sense that there's a lot of people around you who are not particularly good influences, and that you have to learn the lessons of allowing these people to be around you, because that is your choice. Here we go, looking at the Phoenix again. Freedom from suffering and past karma, reincarnation. The Phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The Phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, tapas. The essence of the Phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. You should know that the people around you who are toxic are not going to like this. They will react very badly to it. All right. At that very moment, the spark of the Phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the Phoenix lifts our spirits up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's a sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. The Phoenix and the first chakra. The ancient yogis believed that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. This earthen center is also known as Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the Phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burnt, it rises from the ash toward the navel center. Again and again, it makes this journey from first to third chakra, purifying our essence, freeing us from the past. But you notice that the Phoenix can't free you from the past in an instant. You have to learn the lessons. Maybe you have to repeat them over and over again. Maybe it's, and I see this more often, that we go through a kind of spiral. We learn the lesson once, and then we learn it again in a different form, with different people in different circumstances, slightly different. And then it happens again and again and again, always slightly different, always slightly different people, slightly different circumstances, until we are able to recognize the pattern. Maybe it takes us longer to recognize it at first, but then we're able to recognize it more easily. Then we start to recognize it from a distance, and then we decide that we're not going to repeat that pattern in any form. So if that sounds like you, what you're experiencing, this is probably your reading. All right, let's see what the tea leaves have to say about your current situation, or what will help you decide if this is your reading. It may not be your current situation, it could be past. You are on the road to success, but we also have beware of self-delusion and trouble, accusations. So it's interesting to see that on this card we have you're on the road to success. We have financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past, and then we have marriage. So everything coming up roses here, literally, right? And then over on this side, we have self-delusion, we have trouble, accusations, and we have a friend. I would say this friend is trying to warn you. It says advice from a friend. Maybe the friend gives you good advice. Maybe they just try to call your attention to something. I don't know whether you listened or not, or whether you will listen. Maybe they were warning you about a marriage. But as much as there's something positive here in your life, perhaps just in the financial realm, perhaps not. We also have self-delusions, trouble, and accusations. And perhaps the need to listen to others, which the fire ant aspect of your personality would not be inclined to do. It's very interesting that they are lining up this way under these two cards. We've got all the positive cards over here and all the negative cards over here. Not that fire ants are all bad. It's great to be disciplined. But considering we have a phoenix here, that means there's a lot of lessons going on, a lot of difficulties to get through. Whether in the past or in the present, or perhaps continuing into the future. Perhaps this friend is simply giving you advice on your love life. I hope they know what they're talking about. In any case, let's see what else we have to say to you, or Spirit, the universe has to say to you, the divine, whoever you care to believe in. Well, perhaps because we're doing tea leaves, I'm going to go with Panda Tarot. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know about these delusions and trouble? Six of Wands. Perhaps you focus too much on what other people think. Perhaps you worry too much about impressing other people without being authentic, without being true to yourself. Perhaps you sell yourself out for the sake of acceptance, or since we have financial things here, to get ahead in your career. It's not really positive that on one side of your financial success we have your financial success, and the other side we have some really troublesome cards. So there is the desire, or perhaps the likelihood, of rapid movement in some fashion. No, well, we have the Tower in reverse. The Tower in reverse I generally think of as an internal tower. So perhaps the scales are falling from your eyes and you're beginning to see your situation more clearly, the people around you, this fire ant situation. And what really constitutes success. The Six of Wands is really a lot about admiration from others. But since you have it as a crossing, it may very well be that you are overly dependent on others' opinions and need to be a little more independent, perhaps, a little more independent thinking, not so concerned with what others think, and more with being true to yourself. All right, let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out about your current situation. Some secrets are coming to the surface. Oh, well, that's interesting. You got 3 cards out. The moon came out, so secrets being revealed. Perhaps you're increasing your knowledge of yourself, even. Perhaps you're doing shadow work. Things are being revealed. And you had the Six of Pentacles land on top of that. So there may be some financial secrets coming to the surface. And then we have the Four of Wands. This is a little concerning because it's not surprising, though, because it is about your community, your long-term relationships, family, friends, people that you expected to be in your life for your entire life. And they are all coming out. These all came out together. So it was Moon, Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands. So these are in the upright, so maybe it's all good things. This is reciprocity, or perhaps getting help from a therapist. Perhaps getting help from your community. But there's definitely changes going on. Things are being revealed that are not the most pleasant, especially to do with this King of Cups. So the King of Cups would be someone who is emotionally cold and or manipulative. They gave nothing. And they were probably part of your community. Anything else about these secrets? Something to clarify this moon. So we have the Sun in a crossing position. For me, that's false happiness. So there's a lot of ways to have false happiness. It can be false positivity. I had a mother who yelled at me, yelled at all of us, be more positive. It's really funny to think about now, but it was not healthy. And I did grow up in a family where having emotions was not exactly acceptable. That may have been your situation as well. It's not uncommon for those of us, especially of Northern European descent, I think. Having emotions, how dare we? Anyway. But now, things are coming to the light. Five of Cups in reverse. You're learning. Painful, emotional lessons, but once you get through them, there are new possibilities. And that's a good thing. So keep going. Things will get better. You are on the right path. Let's see if one final message. Tick-tock. Sorry, I didn't mean to chime you. All right. Tick-tock, number 30. All right, 30, where are you? Essential meanings, timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. The Oracle's message: when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. Protection message. Have you been feeling as if the clock, oh my gosh, I can't talk. As if the clock is ticking and gotten a little nervous that your dreams are taking too long to manifest? There is nothing to fear. You will never run out of time for the important things. The miracles that are yours and yours alone can't be missed. Isn't that amazing? You're in such capable hands with guides and angels hovering in the invisible spaces, ensuring that your journey will be filled with all sorts of goodies. Let your anxiety be gently dispelled by your faith. Spirit will never deny you your highest good. All is yours in divine, appropriate timing. You can relax. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm wishing you all the best.